Hello and welcome to a Leith Central review, and the subject this time is the Bachmann Model Rail USA 060 tank S100, commonly known as the USA tanks, that were worked on the southern region, especially around Southampton docks, with this example being 30064. I'll talk you through the history of the real loco, and then we'll have a look at the model and it running on Leith Central. Right, so the USA S100 060 switcher or shunting engine, built for the war effort and arriving as part of the Lend-Lease agreement, and 12 eventually bought by the Southern Railway, including this example 30064. It's one of 12 numbered from 30061 to 73, all based around the Eastleigh and Southampton area. 30064 was built in 1943 by the Vulcan Foundry and was their works number 4432, and was eventually withdrawn in July 1967 and subsequently preserved at the Bluebell Railway. This livery is one that's carried in preservation and also for empty stock work around the Southampton and Eastleigh area, and it's also one of the nicest looking liveries on the loco, which also carry BR black, BR lime black, as well as working in industry, which ensured the survival of a few into preservation. The National Colour Board and Longmoor Military Railways both having examples. Overall first impressions of the model are very good. This is up to Bachmann's usual standard and looks proportioned, and also looks purposeful and heavy, just like the real thing. There is a good weight to the model also, and the pulling power is significant for the size of engine. This will quite gladly start any stock I've put behind it, but of course I don't really have the space to test it fully. It'd be nice to get it out on the club's new Castleton layout with a full rake of, say, MGRs behind it and see how it copes with that, but that'll have to wait for the future. As I said, the overall look is very good, and all the printing and paint is quite crisp and detailed. They've even picked out a piece of detail that I thought initially was some blurring on the front number plate, but looking at photos in part of its late crest time, it did have a larger zero on one of the zeros on the front, and that has been captured on this model. I'll now move you closer in and we'll have a look at some of the more fine detail. Starting with the face, so to speak, of the USA tank, the overall look is very nice on this front end, and it captures the open front end very well, with some very fine detail, including individual rivets and the separately fitted handrails, and shunting aerials for the radio traffic around Southampton docks are fitted there. The shunter's board on the front is an extra detail pack, comes with a detail pack, and there's an up and down position option for that, as well as your brake pipes and everything for the front. Also focusing on the front is these detailing parts do fit around the standard Bachmann NEM coupling, which this loco comes with as standard, as it does with sprung buffers. One thing I do like about this front here, as I mentioned earlier, was the slightly oversized zero on the number. That is a real life feature. I don't know whether it was a case of one was scratched off and they had to replace it at Southampton docks, but that has been modelled here. Another area I really like about this model is the actual support of the pistons and how it hangs at the side next to the wheels, and there is no sort of outside frame, so to speak, and this is a nice feature of the USA tanks and also the upcoming 1501s, which does give it a chunky, powerful appearance, and does hark back to its American roots. Moving to the side, the chunky utilitarian theme of this engine really continues, and the motion is modelled very well, and all the printed lines and BR crest and numbers are all very crisply printed. The one thing about this loco that is also interesting is the way the cab makes it look very modern by British standards compared to other engines of the time, and there is actually cab detail inside there, but I won't be able to get the camera in to show you to do it justice. One thing I might do is get the body off this and get a crew fitted to it. But the cab is, although sparse in areas of where there would be complex detail on the outside, is very well modelled, including the works plate there on the side of the bunker being completely legible with a magnifying glass, the chunky steps on the rear, and as I mentioned, the bulky but functional look of the Motion. The whistles on the dome picked out in gold there, and again some more fine pipe work on the top of the boiler that does add some extra detail and extra realism to this loco. Even though it is very utilitarian and blocky in its overall look, there is some really nice fine detail if you get in close and have a look. Moving to the rear, the buffer beam is as per the front end, but without the shunters plate, and this is quite a slab back end, but what detail is there is crisply picked out and is well detailed. There's no flashing, there's no running of paintwork, and one thing that is very nice is over the cab windows is the metal wire guards are individual wires, and then you've got the coal load there. It will benefit from the addition of a real coal load, but apart from that, that is the only addition I can think of for this model without considering weathering. But I do like this model in pristine condition, so we might have this appearing as a preserved engine around Leith Central, even when it's running in the modern era, so we can run it up and down on Brit Van specials around the docks maybe. Running wise, the loco is up to Bachmann's usual standard once running. Copes well with insular frog points, second radius curves and tight small turnouts, as well as code 75 and code 100 train set track. If you are planning on using this loco on what looks like a poorly laid area, I can recommend it. It does stick to the track like glue, and there has been no issue with derailing in any area of Leith Central, even on some slightly iffy track within the fiddle yard. Well, I hope you enjoyed this Leith Central review of the S100 tank. Let me know if there's any other locals in the fleet you'd like reviewed in the comments below. The next one I plan to do is the English China Clay International Clay Tigers from EFE Rail, so keep your eye out for that. Remember to like, share and subscribe, and click the little bell icon so you never miss any updates or reviews on the channel. Until then, enjoy your modelling, and I'll see you again. Cheers.